Okay, this is take two. It's the first time I went through the whole video not realizing I had my mic shut off. I was asked to give some more detail on the build on this router jig. So here goes. So I've got the router up out of the table. That's because the earlier versions that I made of this that didn't work very well also didn't work when I would flip the arrow from end to end and run it through the opposite way. It would leave a pretty good divot wherever the switch was made. This one doesn't do that, so I may put that router back in the table, although I've kind of found out I kind of tend to use it more, and I was thinking of breaking this router table down anyhow. But anyhow, obviously this is just for dust collection. I'm using the back. I'm not sure if my regular dust collector hose will reach all the way over here. I'll probably try that at some point. But it's just a 2x4. I kind of wish I'd left the circle instead of cutting this out, because some of the sawdust does sneak under there, but it still works okay. This block here is just a piece of 2x4. If you're going to put this on a whole router table, you can make this long enough so you can clamp it on both ends, or find another way to clamp it, or if you got a wood top, you can screw it down, whatever you want to do. This is just a piece of pipe. This is an old, I think off an old shower. It's still got the ferrule nut on the end here, and I'm just using that to hold it in place. Sure, you can find some other way to hold a regular piece of pipe in there, glue it, clamp it, whatever. You don't really need a pipe, I don't think. The earlier versions I just had some guides in here, and they work. Sometimes you need to help guide it through, but all you need to do is make sure it doesn't whip bad enough to break, and whip bad enough to affect your cut. This is the most important piece right here. Now, I created this. This is a 7/16 hole here, halfway through, and then 11/32 for an 11/32 arrow. Make it whatever size you want, I guess. This cutout here, I started with a drill, a spade bit. It was 1.5 inches. I didn't have one that fit my bit perfectly, so I went to the next size larger. And of course, I didn't get. You can see I drew a line on the very edge of that 11/32, but I didn't get the bit just right, so I had to deepen it a little bit with the bandsaw. Still works. I got this cut out simply by one of these actions. You want to be pretty careful when you do that. I put some guides and slid it through. If it was clamped onto this piece, that might work as well, just to get it in there. Now, to reset this up, what I'll do is I'll put a piece of 11/32 dowel in there, and I'll make sure that this bit just barely touches it, as close to that beginning of that 11/32 hole. Clamp it in place, and then of course it might take a minor tweaking from there, but I've had this on and off a couple of times, and this works. A couple of times it was perfect, and a couple of times, of course, I had to move it slightly a little bit one way or the other. That's about all. I'm using a 1/2 inch round. Didn't have a 3/8. I might pick one up and try it, see if it makes a difference. I doubt it will. I mean, this works about as good as it can. I don't know what I could do to make it work better. It works really well. I've cut some footed arrows with it. can't put my hands on the footed arrows, but they were oak and poplar, oak foot. I had to sand them down enough so they'd fit in this hole, because I try to make the oak a little bit bigger in case I don't get it perfectly straight, but that went right through, no problem at all. So I kind of like this. It's gonna find some use, I think, here in my shop. Thanks for watching.